The following Dungeons & Dragons Actual Play podcast is based on real events from the history of American crime. Some of this imagery might be upsetting. Listener discretion is advised.
Infinite power, infinite power, infinite power, infinite power, infinite power. Infinite power.
So, both of your characters are in the underneath. It's the first level of the underneath, so the one that's closest to the surface, is really almost indistinguishable from the surface in a lot of ways, because the entire city is usually dark. A lot of the original infrastructure is still there. I mean, there are support systems set up to hold up the city. People have installed sort of magical light sources, almost like a kind of like an artificial sky, I guess, in some ways. So, like, marketplaces are open. There are lots of bars, lots of like, small temples and churches. Housing there is tight. It's a ghetto. People are packed in pretty tight in places. But there's always a place that you can, if you know the right people, you can hide out. And it sounds like both of your characters would be people who would have that knowledge. So on the day that the news gets down to the underneath that Alexander Tate has died, and there are people down there who are, I think, kind of bougie, who are like have aspirations of trying to get up there. They're the sort of people who think that they're millionaires, but just now their poverty is temporary, kind of thing. Who are really distraught, like this. Oh my gosh, like we can't believe this happened. He was so talented. And other people who just don't care, right? Like it's another dead rich guy. And kind of proximal to where both of your characters are, however you want to place yourselves in this sort of downtown area, a fight breaks out. It's a couple of guys from one of the gangs that run the upper level who are, it started off as a shouting match, really just shouting like curses and insults at each other, that has now gotten violent, and weapons are out. Do either of your characters do anything, or do you just want to sit back and kind of see how this goes?
I think Aelos would probably sit back and kind of take it all in first to see kind of which side is winning, and then try and join that side.
Fair enough.
I feel like Nim would actually start hovering around the fight, almost like peeking in, like looking like what's going on, like trying to figure out which ones are fighting each other, to see if it's the guys that protect him, as opposed to the guys, and just moving around the crowd, but being very cautious.
Okay.
So he doesn't get a random elbow in the face.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. So, one group, like I said, they're clearly wearing gang colors, as much as there's like color available. I think it would look like just a strip of fabric, maybe like wrapped around their arm. Maybe it's like a dark green, like an armband almost, to identify them. I mean, this is the ghetto, so people aren't really dressed like lavishly or anything, even the guys in the gang. And they were they were fighting because one of the non-gang members insulted somebody's sister. And as these things go, people's honor got called out and swords were drawn. As to whether or not they are people who are like responsible for protecting them, I don't think so. I think it's more interesting if they're not. They might be rivals with the people who are protecting you.
Huh. Nim might back off a little bit then.
Okay.
Like, oh, that's not Johnny. So let me back up. Yeah.
Do Nim and Aelos know each other?
That's up to you guys. It's easier for me if they do, but if you don't want them to, that's fine too.
I feel like they probably do. They're running cons in the other.
Yeah.
They probably run into each other.
Yeah, at least casually know each other.
Yeah, I don't think we like hang out, but we probably know. We've probably run cons on each other or people that we know, or we've had like conflicting cons at the same time.
Bye, Mark. Okay.
Guard's mine.
I'm the first head in the hands moment is like to flash ahead to when people come together, because in the game last night one of the other characters is a cop, and we had lots of educational moments on those episodes about how if you say something like this to the police in real life, it's probably not going to go very well, and we're not advocating for that type of rebelliousness. So one of the lessons from the first batch of episodes was don't talk to the police. just not like that. So these two con men being part of this world totally
I like
fits.
to think of myself as an opportunity specialist.
Yeah, a master's in the opportunity sciences.
Yes.
MSOS. So the fight kind of plays out predictably, right? The guys in the gang have more experience with violence than the guys who don't. The guys who don't had probably been drinking, and these insults start flying, and people feel like they can't back down when they probably should back down. There's not really much of a city guard or anything down here. This is a place where the gangs are really meant to be policing their own behavior, and they've kind of substituted for a lot of what we would think of as emergency services. So really the other people around kind of like they're so used to violence at this point that it doesn't even really seem to affect them very much. It's only when like the fight starts to, like, you would both get the sense that the fight might be getting bigger, right? So one guy gets pushed. The guy who is pushed kind of flies backwards, knocks into somebody else, who then turns around and is like, what are you doing? And then shoves him. And so there's almost like a domino effect starting to happen where things could get bad fast. So do both of your characters still just kind of hang out on the sidelines and watch this?
I might be actively... Aelos is definitely actively trying to hide, like he might be trying to sneak behind the bar or something that sort of gets him out of harm's way.
Okay, can you make a stealth check?
I would love to.
I will find a dice roller. I'll find a dice roller for you.
No. I just need... how are we generating stats?
Oh, yeah. So if you just want to do the standard... not the point by the other one. The standard array?
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never done that before. But I will plug these values in real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go with standard array? I wasn't sure either.
It honestly, it doesn't make a difference to me.
I know, I mean... I was going to make a comment, but I'll hold.
Yeah.
In case someone listens to this.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. Probably won't, but you say that you're going to hold your comment and then you throw this dude under the bus.
I do.
Yeah, so
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to
no worries.
trying to build the character as
Oh no, that's why it's the session 0. We're learning about D&D all together for fun. So this fight is happening, and Aelos is trying to find a place to hide. What is Nim doing?
Well, we've already established why they're fighting.
Yeah.
I feel like... What time of day is it?
So, I mean, this is a fight that started because people were drinking, so they're it's late enough in the day that they've had time to be drinking for a while.
Alright, so Nim's drunk.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so Nim may start getting a little closer to the group than he probably should be.
Okay.
And he actually... Did he hear them insult the sister, or he's...
So you can make a perception check to see what he would have heard, or what he sees.
Ooh, 1 second. That's an 18.
Okay.
4.
So you did hear the insult, and as you're watching the people fighting, on the arm of one of the civilians who started the fight, he has a tattoo of... It's a symbol of Hextor, who is the god of war, discord, and conflict.
Oh, jeez. One of them saves.
War, discord, massacres, conflict, fitness, and tyranny, according to Wikipedia. So, fitness kind of...
GTL? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's the gym before...
Yeah.
God of fitness? Like...
Yeah. Yep.
Wait.
Yep. Conflict, fitness, and tyranny. Things that go together really well.
So these are the bros.
Yeah. Maybe they're, maybe he's a frat boy.
So these are the bros. Nim's definitely gonna now get close enough to the same guy who's insulted. And continue the insult.
You're back 2 seconds, just gonna grab us some dice.
Okay.
Like, he's literally gonna say the same insult into his ear.
Okay.
But wait, it gets better. And then he's gonna face step to the other side of the room right after insulting him.
Okay. So I don't want you guys in initiative.
No initiative. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah. I'm not.
He's not really gonna see who. I mean.
Yeah. If we had more people playing tonight, I was gonna start just by throwing you right into combat. But I don't want to do that. So he just kind of like walks up into the fight and repeats the insult about the guy's sister. Right to
the guy who got called, whatever his sister got called.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, you know your sister's a...
Yeah.
Before the guy even turned around, he's gone.
Just bamps out of there.
Yeah.
Nightcrawler's out of there.
Out of there.
And
Kurt Warner. Well, gotta make the bad jokes now. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, like there's something there about like religious fraudulence and Kurt Warner, and I think I've said enough. So yeah, the guy turns around to see like who just said that, and Nim is like sitting at the bar, has like faced up back to the bar, probably like sitting on the bar, or sitting on a stool at the bar, like legs crossed, like
probably ordering a drink.
Yeah. The guy's like, what? And so in response to that, he takes a swing at like the nearest person to him, and just levels this guy. And so the fight is continuing to brew.
I have a turn.
Okay. So can you make a stealth check to see if...
I did. I got a 24.
All right.
I rolled a 17 and I have a +7. Hooray, expertise.
Nice. So, both of your characters, I think Aelos is so well hidden that Nim's face up like benefits from this. So they're just chilling at the bar in no danger now, at least for now, of
I may be trying to steal a bottle of something from behind the bar.
Okay. If you want to make a sleight of hand check, you can.
Let's see, 12 plus 7, so 19.
Yeah, the finest rot gut moonshine available in the underneath. And they probably would call it moonshine because they just live in moonlight so much, so it's almost like a real... Yeah, it's like the equivalent of those, like the whiskey that kind of looks like Jack Daniels, like Evan Williams or something like that.
Oh,
like,
gotcha.
The label looks like Jack Daniels, but it's not.
Jack Daniels.
Oh, I remember. I remember those nights, kinda, not fondly. So yeah, you got some of that. 250 proof. It's like great pure rubbing alcohol.
You make sure you add that to your equipment.
Yeah. I feel like it's so potent that the bottle has to be like some kind of like reinforced glass somehow. It's like
fireball.
plus one bottle. This is dangerous stuff.
All right, he said it's canon.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, listen, this type of stuff, it would have to exist in a world like this. It has to.
Yes, it's basically a Molotov.
Yeah. Yep. That might actually be funnier. Like, he grabs a Molotov off like from behind the bar and just takes the rag out of it
And drinks it.
You give it a smell like a sommelier. Like, this is
It's a fine vintage.
Yeah.
2017.
Yep.
That was a dry summer in
The gasoline in this is just mwah. So he's got that. This fight is starting to boil up to almost riot proportions now. More members of this gang have shown up to defend their brothers. They need a name. All right, Google. Let's see what you do. Gang.
Well, I have a name generator up. The Men of the Night.
That's too proper.
No, I'm saying. Well, we have to know how many names we have to figure out.
Yeah. So a gang that, according to this site, used to work the East River in the 19th century. The Tub of Blood Bunch.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Sound like you don't want to mess with them.
Yeah, the Tub of Blood made their headquarters from a bar with the same name. The Tub of Blood was a bar? Oh my god. Probably an Applebee's now.
It's definitely an Applebee's.
Right? Like a little plaque on the side, like originally the site of the Tub of Blood. Now we have bottomless margaritas.
That's the Tub of Blood.
Yup, yeah. Enough of these and you'll wake up in that.
Oh, I think I got some great names back then.
Oh yeah.
Cock Road Gang? That's great.
Oh, this is incredible. The Kosher Nostra?
What?
The Kosher Nostra was a thing? I know what my research just took a wild left turn.
Oh my god, yeah, it's definitely there.
The Yiddish Black Hand.
Oh, it's the Black yeah.
That's crazy. That's such a
is that a
horrible pun.
Oh, it's Arm Rothstein, yeah.
Wow. So, yeah, the Tub of Blood. The Tubbers, we'll call them.
The Tubbers.
The Tubbers.
Wait a minute, we're not making fat jokes, are we?
No, listen. As a fat man, I'm not making fat jokes in my campaign. No,
Hey,
draw the line there.
I'm just making, I want the this is episodes 0. I want to make sure the guidelines.
Yeah. No, we are running a body positive show here.
Out with it.
Maybe we'll find it. They're temporarily the Tub of Blood. Like that name has to come up somewhere along the way. But more the point is that more of their people are showing up here, and the civilians who have been either the original members of this riot or who have been roped in because they've gotten bumped, and then one of those things where somebody steps on somebody's foot and then is a part of the fight. It's definitely going in the gang's favor. And you guys are just sitting back and watching still, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because there are many people that would murder me, and I'm just gonna try and not die.
Gotcha.
Yeah, once I realized it wasn't my gang, yeah, nope.
Okay. So once the rest of the gang gets there, things kind of calm down. They have basically deputized themselves and given themselves arrest power down there. And this might even be happening within like eye shot. Is that a word? Eyesight? Like the
Earshot.
Eyesight.
Within sight.
Line of sight. Words. I don't know.
You can see them.
Yeah. There will be the guards from the checkpoint, I think, would probably see that this is happening. Maybe one of them kind of like sticks his head in just to see. And they don't really care about what's happening down here. So because of that, the gang has kind of given themselves arrest powers, and law enforcement up top doesn't really care. So the guys who started this are beaten down, beaten into submission, and kind of taken away by the Tubbers. I gotta find a better name. I don't want to say Tubbers 10,000 times. They're taken away. Things kind of calm down, and you both see an older man who is one of the people who... He was actually the guy who got hit when Nim insulted somebody and then bamfed out of there. This older man got hit, and he kind of like pulls himself up in a daze, and he's got this big like knot growing on his head, and he's like looking around, and he looks right at Nim and is like, "Where am I? Why'd you do that? What just happened?"
I am in the middle of a bar. So are you, and I don't know what happened either.
You're like, huh? All right. Well, I'm at a bar. Do I like this bar?
Well, clearly you like this bar.
It's the best.
If you're asking us that question, then you definitely like this bar.
It's like, okay, you guys seem like you're okay. You're okay. So I like this bar. So I don't feel like I've been drinking. So I guess I'm at a bar, so I should probably have a drink. You know, he pounds a fist on the bar, and the bartender comes down, and he looks at you guys, and he's like, "What's good here?"
Their moonshine is exquisite.
Like, all right, I'll have some of your. I'll have one moonshine. and the bartender is this like half drow woman who looks like really annoyed. and she's like, "One moonshine, all right." And she pours him a shot, and he takes it, he holds it up to you guys, and he says, "To my new friends," and he does the shot. Do you guys want to do a shot with him?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Make a Constitution save. I think since Nim is already drunk, like this might be. I think you got to do this at disadvantage.
Considering I rolled a 6.
I rolled a 5.
And now it's with my modifier. It was a 4.
So these two professional drinkers are both just like hammered after one shot of moonshine. But Nim was already in character, had already been drinking and was looking for trouble. So one shot of this stuff, and he does it too. You both feel affected right away. He seems to be fine. Both of you, I think, would, as you're looking at him, you might see this like kind of a glow around him. Like his aura is kind of glowing.
That is an interesting problem when you drink.
Do you say that out loud?
Yes.
He says, "What's? I like interesting problems. What is the problem? I might be good at solving problems. I don't remember."
I hold up some if there's something reflective or mirrored nearby, I grab it and just kind of hold it up and like you're kind of glowing.
So behind the bar there would be one of those like whatever the equivalent of a Budweiser sign would be.
Right.
Here. And it's grimy as hell. It's like it's gross. But Aelos goes up to it and he like rubs his elbow on it to clear up a spot. And the guy, the old man looks at it and he's like, glowing? You must be joking. Are my new friends trying to play a prank on me? Let's have another drink.
Nim looks at him and he's like, well, at this point of every day, I think everyone's glowing. So, I think this is normal when you drink.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So he again calls down the annoyed bartender, orders another shot, and he holds it up to you guys again and says, to my hilarious new friends, we must be friends. And he takes another drink. Do you guys want to take another one with him?
Well, it went so well the first time, so sure.
Well, Nim's not going to say no.
Yeah, I don't think Nim can. I think that's Nim's weakness.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah. So make another Constitution save.
I did better that time. I got 17.
Okay.
Same thing. 17.
All right. So the glow around him, it's still there. It doesn't like intensify or anything. How do I want to do this? So he's sitting there and he touches his hand to his head and he feels this giant like lump that he got from being hit. And he looks at you guys and he's like, "Do you know how this happened?"
I believe a large gentleman hit you on the head with a hammer.
A hammer? Huh.
And I'm just making shit up.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was cowering behind the bar.
Hammer. He's like, it's like he's puzzling it over in his head. He's like, well, I wonder, why did they have a hammer? That doesn't seem like the wise thing to do. Why did he hit me with a hammer? And he's trying to puzzle it over.
And it was like, have you seen the condition of this bar? Of course he's carrying a hammer.
Sometimes you gotta fix a stool.
Yeah, the bar is in bad shape.
You must not come here a lot, friend.
He says, I don't know. I don't know if I do. Do I come here a lot? Have you seen me here before?
Have I seen you here before?
And
has he?
If you want to make a history check.
Oh, history check. Oh, 18.
Yeah, you've seen him. You've seen him around. You've seen him here talking to people before. Drinking, not so much, but he's used the bar for social purposes to talk to people.
Yes, I've seen you here plenty of times, and I think you're always drinking.
He starts to like smack his lips a little bit, and like, really? All right, if you say so. I mean, I don't know why anybody would lie about anything like this. So, if I'm always drinking, then I must. And then he turns to the really annoyed bartender. She slides down another shot for him. And he takes it in one motion, right? So it's like slides down in like a movie. It slides down and he grabs it like he's been doing this all his life and just slams it right away. And he looks at you guys and he's like, you said I feel like I'm glowing, and passes out. Like head hits the bar, boom, right on the knot on his head, bam.
You might want to check his pockets.
Good idea. May I investigate?
Yeah.
The individual.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! Ran off the table. 17 plus 4, 21.
Yeah, so you find... Hi again, everybody. This is Dr. Andy Wilczak. I wanted to say thanks again for taking time to listen to the show. We really appreciate it. The reason why I wanted to make Strength Check into an Actual Play D&D podcast, when there are so many other Actual Play shows out there that are probably way better than anything that I could do, is I want to draw your attention to a project that I'm a part of here in northeastern Pennsylvania. We're calling it Play for Progress, and the idea is to use D&D and eventually, hopefully, probably other tabletop games to help middle school and high school kids who are struggling with mental health problems or addiction issues, or who feel alienated or isolated in some way. This part of Pennsylvania has been hit really, really hard by the opioid crisis. This part of Pennsylvania has a very high alcoholism rate. And this part of Pennsylvania is diversifying very quickly, and there are those who have capitalized on that to try to create more conflict between people. So we have a lot of kids here who are alone and who are suffering, and suffering mightily. So what we're doing, and the point of this message now, is to just let you know that we are raising money to make Play for Progress a sustainable force for good in the northeastern Pennsylvania area. If you have even $5 to spare for us, you can go to GoFundMe.com/playforprogress with hyphens between the words, so play-for-progress. And anything that you can give us will go a long way towards making us sustainable. Thank you.